Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Dr. Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate executive by day, serial entrepreneur by night, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, and founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLC. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Tolo. A little bit about him: from enrolling in the Marine Corps to jumping out of a third-story building to prove his can-do ability, Tolo has always been a risk taker and going AWOL in his second year in the Marine Corps. Tolo left to pursue a dream of making it in the music industry and going through all sorts of ups and downs, and along the way going to jail twice. Tolo shows the true power of determination. Tolo is now the co-founder of a digital music marketing agency that has a staff of 10. Also, he runs the widely entertaining and empowering podcast, Master Your Mind, Master Your Life, where he talks to entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and agents of change about generational impact and legacy. Tolo shows the power of never giving up and always going after bigger and more audacious goals. Watch out for his new book coming soon, Men Control Your Urge and Power Up Your Surge. Welcome to the table, the amazing Tolo.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashley. I appreciate it, and thank you for the awesome introduction.
You are welcome. So tell us more. The audience has heard your amazing bio. So tell us more about your journey.
And you know what's interesting? When you said, send me that bio, I had to type everything up, like literally within 5 minutes. I was like, I don't have any type professional, like, bio. I was like, let me get the click of the clacking on the keyboard, and put together that, and I wanted to be as truthful as possible and as open as a book, so that way I can really connect with the audience and the truth as to what I really went through.
I love that. And let's talk more about your passion. You're passionate, for the music industry, and now you're, pivoted and you're into the digital marketing. So tell us why you were so passionate for music at first, and then how did you take the pivot, and why did you take the pivot?
Yeah, it's interesting. After I had jumped out of the third story of a building, right, I literally smashed into the ground on the right side of my hip. I had to go to the hospital. They flew me to, Cannoli Bay, did surgery. I was in recovery after that. But in recovery, I was watching a lot of, I don't know if you've heard of this show. It's called The Breakfast Club. And it has like Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, DJ Envy. So in it, they had a lot of guests. They had celebrities, they had like thought leaders, they had musicians. So I saw that and I was just like, man, like little old me is here stuck in this room. And I want to do something bigger. I was like, there's more to life than the military. There's more to life. I was like, I want to do something in music. At that time, I was like, maybe I can rap. Maybe I can do something in music. And from there, I left early. I just literally one day just packed my belongings and left. Did not tell like my commanding officer or anybody in charge that, hey, look, I'm about to pack up my things and let's do a discharge, or I just left. And I was like, I almost just lost my life. Back then, my reason was I almost just lost my life. Time is extremely short. For some reason, I thought like, time was ticking and I had to go get this dream real quick. And I remember just leaving the Marine Corps, and then from there, it was, I didn't have no plan. I didn't have any kind of like, okay, this is step A, step B, step C, and this is strategy behind. Nope. Just left, put the backpack on, and just started like, I went to LA. I used to DJ a little bit back in the Marine Corps. And I just took the DJ equipment with me, and I just left. I went to LA. And now that I think back at it, I was so like, I, I guess I was like airheaded, like this dream, like, oh my God, I was just gonna go to LA and I was just gonna arrive and, I was just gonna connect and the music was just gonna take off. I ended up going to LA, getting into a fight, smoking weed, ended up fighting with an officer, and then from there, boom, ended up in jail. Uh, so that was really my first rude awakening. And even after that, I came home, and that's when I really had to like settle down. I was like, yo, you gotta work. You just came out of jail. So I started learning about digital marketing because I didn't really want to work a job. I wanted to have my own business. So I started doing like marketing for restaurants. It was crazy. I would, go talk to people. Hey, can I would print out these social media reports and go to people's businesses and hand it to them and say, hey, these are ways you can improve your social media. These are areas that your business could use. And eventually I had like maybe one or two or three customers. And even back then, I really didn't even know what I was doing. I just heard people online say, hey, you can start your own business and, talk to people about social media. So that's kind of where the pivot. And actually what's interesting is that I still, after that, kind of pursued music. So to kind of like answer your question as to how did I pivot from that to like digital music marketing agency, it's interesting to me when I look back because I left for music. So, but I still ended up owning a partnership in a music company. It's just maybe I thought I was going to be like a rapper or a star, but it ended up just being a music company that I ended up owning. So it was interesting to me to see that point whereby I actually went or rap, did music, but then the person whose studio I would go to go and rap and record, I had no idea this guy was a businessman and he had like a $6 million company that he had built before. But you know how when you're around certain people, the energy is just different and like the conversations are different. I used to bounce business ideas off this guy about things I was trying to do and get rich quick schemes and how's this work and how's that. And one day I remember us just having a conversation. I saw him on LinkedIn, and I was like, yeah, I didn't know you had something with music going, and I know about marketing, and I'm marketing in a certain place. And he was like, yo, come over. We have to talk about this. And from there, me and him literally discussed it, started working in that house, just both of us on a laptop computer. And to make a long story short, fast forward to today, we got an office and we got a staff of about 10.
I love it. So, what is some advice you would give to listeners who are, that are looking to grow in the marketing industry, in the digital marketing industry?
You should focus in on a specific area. Don't be a jack of all trades. Don't be everything to everyone because you will end up with nothing, frustrated, broke, punching away at your keyboard. Um, Digital marketing is always changing. It's always evolving. There's always new technology. There's always new software and new programs. So it helps for you to stay current with what's going on. You don't want to be the person using software that's 5, 10 years outdated, whereas there's something that can literally you can plug into and it could do, all that work in 1/3 of the time. So I would definitely and have mentors around you. Have people that are more experienced in digital marketing around you. As much as you think you know everything and you can do everything on your own, you can't. So definitely have solid people around you.
So let's talk about So I know you just spoke about having solid people around you, people who have already been there and done that. So can you please share with the audience the importance of mentorship, the importance of investing in mentorship, investing in coaches?
You know what? That's an awesome question you just asked, Dr. Ashley. I love mentors. I for some reason I love people that are seasoned and people that are experienced, especially in specific uh, fields. And I think this goes back to us loving to, as human beings, loving to listen to people that are storytellers, but who are seasoned and experienced because their stories are full of wisdom and understanding and guidance, especially as we grow older. And mentors to me is God's gift to the world. Um, I have mentors for so many different things. I use podcasting as a way of mentorship. To me, us what we're doing right now is a form of mentorship. But my business partner is a mentor. He's about 10, 11 years older than me. So I'm able to pick his mind on a day-to-day basis. And because of that, I'm pretty sure I've accelerated maybe 5 to 6 to 7 years of a learning curve that people would have to have gone through. I've been able to be in a corner and learn that very quickly. For finances, recently I hired a mentor because I'm not an expert at finances. So the importance of mentorship is that as you're growing in life, you don't know everything. It's impossible for you to be all intelligent. However, there's somebody out there that, hey, I have 17 years of experience in finances, and maybe they look like you, they've been through what you've been through. Imagine being able to tap into that person's intelligence, being able to tap into that person's experience and knowledge so that not only can they advise you, but they can set you up for a better future than they even had. So mentorship is critical, really. And I think that's just a part of life.
Awesome. And thanks for, sharing that because that's very, very important, right? Having mentors and coaches that are 30 steps ahead of you, that is so, so important. So let's talk about your podcast, Mastermind Life, right? Mastermind Life? Yes.
Hey, hey, hey.
Mastermind Your Life. Talk about it. And I was able to grace your show about a week ago. So it was an amazing experience. So tell us more about your amazing podcast and how people can support, follow you, the type of guests that you're looking to interview, all of that great stuff.
Hey, about a week ago. So, um, the podcast Mastermind Your Life, like sometimes I imagine like a bed. Like if I could transform the podcast into like a bed, I would just want to go into it and sleep there forever. And what I mean by that is that the thought leaders I've been able to speak to, entrepreneurs. Like today, I was able to speak to two gentlemen about Bitcoin. Things that people are literally becoming overnight millionaires and changing their family legacies and their lives. I was able to talk to people about an athlete, who was addicted to alcohol and crashed into a 87-year-old man's car that was coming on the other side and unfortunately ended up killing that man. And, talking to them about their experiences and what they learned. And to be honest, sometimes I can't even believe that I can have these opportunities to interview people and have so much wisdom and knowledge, come across the table. And, the podcast is really about, impact. It's about generational legacy. I want to be able to make sure that everybody I talk to, they leave the legacy that they know they're capable of, behind, because eventually everybody has to pass away. So I really want to empower people to leave the best generational legacies possible and not just only affect the next generation, leave something behind that's going to affect that generation, like keep it going. So, in a nutshell, that's what Mastermind Your Life is. And, I'm thankful to everybody. I'm looking for authors, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, people that have something positive to contribute to humanity.
Amazing, amazing. So let's talk about this new book that you're talking about. You're getting ready to release. Tell us a little bit more about it. You can't say much, but tell us what you can and what inspired you to want to write it.
Yeah, if you guys want to know more, you're gonna have to send me an email. But the Man Control Your Urge and Power Up Your Surge is something that I know millions of men around the world need. And what it is self-control and discipline when it comes to sexual urges. Men nowadays have the easiest access to pornography that there's ever been. And you'll be surprised at the men that are battling this. I'm talking about from your pastors to your CEOs to accountants to, and we've seen presidents fall, like your Bill Clintons, or we've seen athletes like your Tiger Woods or politicians fall because of this. And this is something that, I had to struggle with. And even till now, I still struggle, but, I thank God that I have a much better control over it. But the control your urge is all about, hey, look, having, those urges are natural. And unfortunately, that access and ease to pornography makes it so that, at the request of that urge, a lot of people, men, want to run, to pornography in order to satisfy that urge. But what that really is doing is weakening their character, is weakening their shell, is weakening their ability to dominate themselves. You want to be master over yourself. You do not want your desires to be master over you. If that's the case, then maybe you kind of know you lower your status to that of an animal. You're operating on your animalistic instincts. So the book is just, giving strategies, giving tips, giving real life stories. I read a lot of stuff online researching for the book, such as men that literally lost their families. Like they chose, their wife came to them and handed them an ultimatum, like, hey, look, like it's either you give up the porn or, this family, I'm taking the kids, I'm leaving. And certain men, they couldn't break that control they had on their life. So it's interesting, Dr. Ashley, that you asked that, because it's not well known. And, as men, have ego and pride. So it's kind of swept under the rug. But it really is a lot more of an occurrence, and it's really debilitating to a lot of people than is really being mentioned right now.
Wow. This is I love where you're going with that, and I really believe your book is going to change a lot of lives. So we cannot wait until you officially launch it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you congratulations in advance.
Thank you. It's been awe-inspiring, and this is the first time I'm writing a book, so, and it fits into just me wanting to positively impact humanity and me trying to plant seeds to make. It's one thing for me to have battled it and discovered strategies and, subjugated it and being able to get it under control, but I know deep down, because I've seen it. I know men that face things like that were in the military, they went through it. You'll be surprised, Dr. Ashley, like the person that you were like, yo, this guy's a perfect, he's clean cut, and you will be surprised, like, when he gets home and, when the lights are off, he's in front of a computer, just, literally wasting his life away in arenas like that. And that's a lot of reasons why certain men become stagnant, because my dad was giving me this example of a friend when he went to go visit or something like that, and he woke up late in the middle of the night to go use the bathroom, and he's walking by a room, and there's a light, and he's hearing like clicking and sounds, and he pushes the door open a little bit, and that guy is like right there in front of the computer, like just blowing, his time away and just like into it. So it's like it's really it's interesting really when I started diving into it more and more because I saw like even Christian men, 64% of Christian men were reporting, an addiction to pornography and things of that nature. So I'm happy to be able to give the best advice possible.
I love that. I love that. And so I ask all of my guests this question, okay? And I know that you created multiple tables for others and for yourself. How did you create your seat at the table?
Man, to create my seat at the table, I had to knock on doors. I had to bring value. I would knock on businesses' doors, bring value. Then that started giving me the opportunity for them to be like, hey, you know what? Come in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Let's have a talk. People's time nowadays is so busy. They don't have time to waste. People now, what are the goods? What do you got? How are you going to help me? How are you going to help my business grow? Who are you? Are you trying to take something from me? Like internet, more people on the earth, like, this is more competitive. So that leading up to my business partner, at that time, I watched a lot of courses on digital marketing. So I was able to speak the lingo well enough. I was like, hey, look, email, I got it, Facebook ads. Yep, I know about Facebook. Like, I was just a go-getter. Like, I was energetic. So from there, even when you say creating your own table, like, it started off kind of like, okay, like maybe I got paid to do one thing, but eventually I worked so hard that I was able to negotiate. Like, at first I got maybe like 10% of the company, something like that. Then eventually it became 20% of the company, then 30, and then 35% of the company. So, creating your own table, like, I picked so much energy and work. It was almost as if like, yo, the trajectory I was going on was like, I'm going to create my own table regardless of what happens. So even a businessman that is 10 years older than me that was doing $6 million a year, he saw that and he was like, okay, you know what? I might as well give him a percentage of the company to have him on board so that we can build this thing out. So I think when it comes, Americans are some of the most driven individuals in history. I'm talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Henry Fords, the Martin Luther Kings, like those legends, and I think that's the spirit of America, which is enterprising. So to me, in essence, that creating a table was just me being hungry and me just going after it and saying, I have more to contribute.
I love that. And so what did failure teach you on your journey?
Oh, man. I feel like me and failure are in a committed relationship to each other, and, I learned from her so much. It's interesting because I have mixed feelings about failure. Like, I want to fail, but I want to fail in such a way whereby I can pick up momentum, I can keep going. But failure is such an interesting word because really, I don't think there's anything such as failure. I think it's lessons. But let me be real. I feel like, that's a cliche everybody says. But if you learn something like once or twice and you're still making that mistake, that's failure right there. But failure really showed me the power of taking risks and learning from your risk. Another thing about failure is that when you made that failure, I made a certain mistake. I didn't want to make it again in the future. So it would cause me to change my behavior. Failure caused me to rearrange my thinking about how do I carry out certain tasks? How do I carry out certain decisions? I feel like failure has been one of my life's greatest teachers because I feel like when I was young, I still have this like streak of like, you know how they say youth is time or age is wasted on the youth. I was very like rebellious and energetic and impulsive and I can do this and boom, I'll jump out. So I would fail from those and be like, okay, so it became a teachable moment. It became so it's interesting. Failure, like what is failure? Why do we love failure? You know, the most successful people in the world are the people who have failed the most. So, you know, I'm looking forward to failing more and more. I think, but deep down in my heart, you know, I just want to fail in a way that allows me to reach greater success.
Well, what did success teach you? You're very successful. So, what did success teach you?
Uh, Responsibility. You know, success, it feels amazing, to be honest. Success, it feels good. Um, Being able to carry it around, it almost feels like a badge, but and I think there's different levels to success. And you know, to be honest, I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface with, or I've just begun to scratch the surface. Um, Success is amazing in that you know you poured your blood, sweat, and tears to either achieve a status, to be known, to have influence on people. You know, that's what success to me is having positive influence on people. You being able to come into a room and the atmosphere changes. You know, people know, hey, it's time for us to kick in the gear. It's time for us to get things done. You know, success to me is not having to say a word. You know, does your reputation precede you? Does your name carry weight? Like, you know, I think we live in a culture, in America, which is, you know, obsessed with success. And to me, you know, I want more success. You know, I want more success in all areas of my life. But even more importantly, what I started realizing now is that I want to help other people reach levels of success in their life that they never had before. Because I want them to taste it. I want them to get that feeling. I want them to realize like success is built into you as a human being. You're supposed to be successful.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thanks for shining light on that. On both of them because that's so important because the definition of success is different for everybody. And so we are getting ready to finish the first quarter up literally in a couple days. So what can we expect from Tolo the rest of 2021 in this new decade and new quarter? What can we expect from? I know you got the book coming out. What else?
Oh man, I'm one of my weaknesses before was that I would try to do like 18 different things at once. Oh, I got an idea for a clothing line. Oh, I got this idea for this thing. I'm going to do this. And what I've come to realize is that let me just focus on a few things at once because uh, master of all, there's no such thing. Um, for me, I love thinking about life. I love thinking about legacy. I love thinking about impact. And also, I love shifting my energy and my actions towards those arenas. So, speaking engagements, you know, I've gotten several courses, and I'm part of a program with ET and his cohort about how to speak. It's interesting because the individual I spoke to earlier today, who was in that fatal car crash, he's a speaker and he's part of that program. So definitely, the rest of 2021, putting out that book, engaging in speaking. I want to build out my brand a little bit more because I feel like branding is so crucial as a human being in this wildly populated world. Like, and even more importantly, as an entrepreneur. So I want to be able to have paid speaking engagements. I want to be able to take the book that I've written and go into places, talk to groups of men, either at churches, at wherever there's men, I want to talk to them about that. Um, Definitely building out the podcast, talking to. I want to keep doing that. I want to die in the casket with a microphone in my hand, talking about like I finished the sentence halfway and passed away. Um, so really, for 2021, the goals I had written down was to be more disciplined, to be more focused, and to be more consistent. But I want to stay within the realm of building up the digital marketing business I have now, getting my finances straight, building multiple streams of income, and really doubling down on branding and getting into speaking engagements.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell our audience, Tolo, how they can follow and support you on all social media platforms.
Yeah, man, guys, check me out. Instagram is TOLU.OWOYEMI. YouTube is Mastermind Your Life. TOLUOWOYEMI. Those are the two places that I'm putting the most amount of energy towards. Is definitely my Instagram and definitely YouTube.
Awesome. So make sure you all follow and support Tolo. He is doing some amazing things. Definitely somebody to know and connect with. And Tolo, thank you so much for coming to the table tonight. This has been an amazing interview, and I cannot wait to invite you back.
Hey, I appreciate it, Dr. Ashley. And thank you. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Entrepreneur, enterprising. Like, it's really amazing. And not only that, how you're listing so many professionals, the HBCU experience and your gift for media and, even the position that you're at, but still being able to connect and tap into people and put them on a pedestal and help them get their dreams and ambitions out there. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm giving God all the credit because he gets all the credit. But thank you so much, and I look forward to continuing to connect and collaborate with you.
Nah, definitely. And thank you, Alan, because, hey, you're making all of this possible, too, as well.
Awesome. So I would like to give a special thanks to my intern, Sarah, who's a Tennessee State University alumni. And I would also like to give a special thanks to my intern, Vontaria, who is a student at Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Dr. Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.